Hello, my name is Rob Garner. I'm a computer programming instructor, and today I'm going to demonstrate how to set up roles for an MVC.net website. So here's our previous project that had authentication already built in, or that we added authentication to this menu controller class. And what we're going to do is we want to add roles. So perhaps the delete function or some of these functions we only want to be done by people with within the administrator role. Well, to do that, we will need to, before roles can work, we need to set that up in our database and also add a seed method so that this database gets initialized with those roles. So I'm going to first go to our tools and open the NuGet Package Manager and enable migrations. Once we enable migrations, you'll notice that under our Solution Explorer, we get this migrations folder and configuration.cs. And this configuration.cs is a class that's set up in order to basically create our migrations. We also get an initial create migration. And all it's doing is creating the tables that are in our database, including our menus table. So what we want is, there is a table called ASP.NET Roles, which is created for us. So we don't need, so that's provided to us by the membership framework. What we want to do, though, is we want to create the seed method in order to initialize a role, an admin role, and then perhaps go ahead and create a login for an initial login for an admin. And this would be if you, for example, had a database that you're deploying, and it would initialize with an administrator role and login already set up in it for the user to use. So to do this, we're going to use the Role Manager class, and we're going to have to add a using directive to the ASP.NET Identity framework. And so we're going to create a Role Manager object. And for this to work, we are going to need a reference to the DB context, which is being passed to us in the seed method, will be passed to us in this context parameter. We're going to need to use a role store, so that's going to require us to add the entity framework. And this role store class takes a DB context. So we're getting that through this context object up here. And that gives us a role manager. Spelling is important. And then we're going to need a user manager. And that's going to need a reference to models because our application user is defined in this class here, I believe. Yes, application user. And of course, we have to pass in the database context so that the application or the user manager or the user store class can access the database. So once we have this role manager and this user manager, we can use them to create administrators and or make roles and users. And what we're going to check with the seed method is if role manager, we're going to use the role exists method to see if administrator exists. We're going to check first so that we don't accidentally create it twice. And then if it doesn't exist, we're going to use the create method from the role manager class to create a new identity role called administrator. So that'll create our administrator class. Then we're going to instantiate an application user, and we'll set the username equal to sa@aserver.net and email equal to the same thing. We'll set email confirmed equal to true. And then we'll look to see if user manager dot find by name so then we'll look for this SA. Actually, we can probably just put this, we don't really need that here. We probably should put it inside of this check. So we'll look for this user. If it doesn't exist, then we'll create the application user. So we created this role. First, checking to make sure it doesn't exist. If it does, then we create it. Then we check to see if there's a user by the name of sa@server.net. If that doesn't exist, then we'll create that user, and then we'll set that user's password. And if it succeeds, then we'll assign that user to the administrator role. And this will create an initial user that is in the administrator role, so that we can use that functionality. So here I'm going to update database in the package manager console. It runs the seed method, and then let's go to our menu controller. And what we did, I already had this in the starter program, but we added an authorize attribute where you have to be in the administrator role to do a delete. And so let's see if this works. So I'll log off, and then I'll go to menu management. Of course, we can't see anything. I'll log in to just the general server one. Go to menu management, and I'll try to do a delete. And it says you can't. It basically brings me, because of the authorize attribute here for administrators, it denies me the ability to do a delete. So I'll log in with, let's see if the seed method actually ran and installed our sa@aserver.net. I'm now logged in here. If I try to do a delete, problem is I have administrators. Let me fix this. This needs to be administrator. Spelling's important. Let's redo the test. Menu management. Login is the regular user. Try to do an edit. The edit works. Try to do a delete. It won't allow me to do a delete unless I'm a system administrator. Now, because I'm an administrator, I can do the delete command. And so now we have the ability to authorize roles, and we have an initial role in administrator. Some of the other things you would want to do is you'd want to provide a page to edit roles. And you have some manage functions in here. Let's take a look at some of these. We have change password, we have set password, manage logins. So there's our login. There's our register. Confirm email, allow forgot password. All these are allow anonymous methods. And so what you would want to do is add some user management features possibly to this website so that your new administrator can go in and add and modify the account view models. So they can change they can update passwords, or they can inactivate accounts, and that can be done using the same methods that you use to create any kind of model for .NET. But that allows you to have a administrator role or add any other roles that you want and initialize them using a seed method. Thank you very much.